baby.
Notorious.
Hey, hey, what's going on? What's shaking and baking? I'm yours truly, G Money. Hope everyone's doing fine and hope everyone's enjoying Memorial Day weekend. I am back, baby. Hope I can't wait for. I hope everyone's enjoying this spectacular playoffs. Now we're down to the final two, the last two teams standing between those green leprechauns, the resilient Boston Celtics, and those splashing, cashing Golden State Warriors. This is the second time in NBA Finals history since 1964 that the Dubs and the C's will mangle and meet each other in the big dance for the NBA crown. So with that, let's get to the journey of both teams right here. Let's get to the salute Push Knights. What's cracking side? The playoffs have absolutely been very, very good and very spicy indeed. Yes, there's been some blowouts here and there. There have been some beatdowns here and there, but there's been some juicy games here and there. I know many people think Golden State is going to win, but I'm going to give you a finals prediction that's going to shock a lot of people, though. I'm going to get to that very, very soon. But but both teams have proved me wrong to this point. Let's start off with the C's. Boston started off the season 18-21. They were down in the dumps. They were struggling in close games. I remember they lost at the buzzer to New York when RJ Barrett hit a feathery jump shot. And after that loss, Udoka asked for toughness and grit. But gee whiz, the Boston Celtics have responded greatly. Ever since then, they're 33-10 from that moment on. And now they were the number two seed in the Eastern Conference. They swept Brooklyn right out of the gym. They were down 3-2 to the champs and eliminated them. Salute, I'm here. And then they eliminated them in 7 games, including annihilated them in game 7 when Robert Williams canned 7 long feathery bombs. And also, they recently knocked off the Miami Heat in a grueling, physical, tough, jaw dropping 7 game series in a game 7. And they never trailed for 1 second, led wire to wire in game 7 winning game 7 196. They led by as much as 17. Miami battled their way back and sliced and diced the lead to a single deuce. Jimmy Butler had a chance to send the Heat potentially to their second finals in 3 years, but he break the three ball and the C's survived by the skin of their teeth. So Boston will be going to the 22nd NBA Finals, and they'll be looking to have an NBA leading 18th world chip in their franchise history. So for Boston, they proved me wrong all year. I didn't think this team would be the last team standing in the Eastern Conference, though. I don't think Jimmy Butler's a choke artist, though. Yes, that was a terrible shot by Jimmy Butler. That was a kind of a bad shot by Jimmy Butler. Salute, J Boogie. What's shaking the bacon, man? Thank you, man. What's shaking and baking, man? What's going on? He's the closer. So thank you. So he'll be at Game 7 tonight with the Rangers and the Hurricanes. tonight at Carolina. That'll be awesome there. That'll be awesome there. That was an awesome, great victory for the C's. That was an awesome, great victory for the C's. But my problem with Miami that killed, but that was an awesome, great victory for the C's. But what I love about Boston, they did a good job being physical with Miami, swimming through the perimeter of Miami. And what I love about what Al Horford did, he even though Jimmy Butler can hit tough contested shots, he didn't allow, a dribble drive layup at the end. So he took Butler to a 3-point shot, which is kind of Butler's weakness, and thus the Heat lost the series and the C's are going to the 22nd NBA Finals. And it's the first Finals appearance since 2010. Ironically, when they lost to the late great Kobe Bean Bryant and the Lakers in 7. So the C's trying to get redemption, try to be the last team standing, hoist that Larry O'B for the Dubs. For the Golden State Warriors on the other end, Golden State went from missing the postseason 2 years in a row into being gold-blooded and being the last Western Conference team still alive through the trenches and trying to win their 7th championship as a franchise and trying to win their 4th title in the Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green era. So if you look at the finals betting favorites here, Golden State is a minus 160 and Boston is a plus 140, meaning that Golden State's actually the favorites to host up the Larry O'B trophy, while Boston's the underdog, but not by much though. It's a juicy finals matchup, Push. Nice indeed. Spicy finals matchup. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 6-game series, and I'm going to shock people. Give me those green leprechauns from Boston. I think the Boston Celtics are going to shock the world and win their 18th championship. Here's why I believe the Celtics will win the title this year. They have one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA in Marcus Smart that you can throw on Steph Curry and it can be physical. Jaylen Brown, you can put on Klay Thompson and he can slow him down too. And Klay Thompson is not the same defender that he was previously. And yes, Klay Thompson can stroke it from long range, but he can be streaky sometimes. Also, Al Horford and Robert Williams could protect the rack, could put Kevon Looney in jail, and Al Horford can boom shakalaka it from the great beyond from downtown. So to me, man, I think Boston's going to shock the world and ups and knock off Golden State in 6 at the TD Garden. And I think the C's, those green leprechauns from Boston, are going to be finding their pie in the goat. And Pudge Nice has a great point. Whoever coaches the best will win the chip. If my keys for Boston is limit turnovers, get in the transition, play without fouling, being physical, clog the paint, swarm the perimeter, put your hands up though, protect the rim, contest each shot, score, use your size in the low block. Also, use your backdoor layup, your floaters, etc. And what they also have to do, dare Draymond Green to shoot threes. Stay attached to Steph, Klay, Jordan Poole, and dare guys like Wiggins, Dre, other guys to beat you if you're Boston. If you can do that, and whoever's bench shows up too, is going to win the championship. For the Warriors, for Golden State, Steph, Klay have to be the catalyst. Steph has to get to the rack. We all know he loves shooting the 3 ball, but utilize the floater game. Use the runner. Klay Thompson utilize the mid-range game too. Klay Thompson has to try his best to be physical with Jaylen Brown. Also, they got to try to double and trap Jason Tatum. Get the ball out of his hands early and often. They're Marcus Smart to beat you. There are other guys like Payne Pritchard or Grant Williams to beat you if you're Boston. If you can, Golden State, I'm sorry. If you can do that and crash the glass and rebound the ball, that will go into their favor. So that's the thing. If you look at Golden State's run, they knocked off Denver in 5, beat Memphis in a tough 6-game series, and beat Luka and Dallas in a tough 5-game series. Gary Payne isn't back yet, Pudge Nice, but he might play Thursday night on ABC. So Gary Payne isn't returning. And speaking of ABC, if you look at the schedule, everything starts on Thursday, 9 p.m. in Yeah, at San Francisco. Then Sunday, 8 o'clock in San Francisco. Then Wednesday and Friday, respectively, 9 p.m. in Beantown. Then Monday, June 13th, in San Francisco, game 5. Thursday, June 16th, will be 9 p.m. in Boston. And then Sunday, June 19th, game 7, the juiciest name names of sports would be in the Bay Area, and thus the Warriors have been unblemished at home, 9-0 at home in the playoffs. Though, what can help the Celtics too is that Boston is actually 9-5 against the Warriors since Steve Kerr's been head coach back in 2015. So that gives Boston an advantage. I know it's regular season stuff, but Boston has a chance to beat Golden State because they had the defense. They can slow down the ball. They can be physical. They can shoot the ball. And here's the thing. I'm healed. And here's the thing I kind of disagree. The Warriors do have killer instinct, but I think the Celtics have shown that the killer instinct themselves this year too. Because if the Celtics had no killer instinct themselves, they would not be in the NBA Finals. Yes, I know Boston almost gagged the game away in Game 7 against the Heat because of bad shots and fadeaway threes, but Boston has the killer instinct themselves because Boston's a team that can slow the game down, that can move the ball themselves. And I agree with Pudge Nice on this. They gotta attack the center spot. So if you're Al Horford, Robert Williams, you gotta attack Kevon Looney in the paint in the low post. And like I said, what Boston has to do, they gotta play the Warriors into a half court game. The Warriors struggle when the game is slowed down. If you can do that, then the C's will be fine. Salute Chi Town. What's going on, man? Salute, man. What's going on? What's going on, man? Happy Memorial Day, everybody. I hope everyone's enjoying Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. So I think this will be a spicy, spicy matchup. I think it's going to be a great series. And my only thing is to health matters for both teams. I want both teams to be healthy because, Boston, Robert Williams, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, everyone's injury prone. For the Warriors, Steph Curry's injury prone, Klay Thompson injury prone, Draymond Green injury prone. So can everyone stay healthy for the Warriors? We just got to find out. Whoever can stay healthy and can execute the best, I think can win this year's championship, though. I think can win this year's world title. So personally for me, I think it's going to be a grueling series. And I personally believe Boston's going to win their 18th title because I think they match up so best with them. And do I think the Warriors are the second or third best dynasty in NBA history? There's also the Bill Russell Celtics. I won't put the Warriors dynasty over the Bill Russell Celtics one. Come on, 8 straight titles. There's also the Spurs championship runs. 5 titles in 20 years. 20 plus years. You also have the Kobe and Shaq Lakers dynasty, the three-peated in the tough era of 2000s. I don't know the big three Miami Heat. They won back-to-back titles, though. If it wasn't for them blowing it in 2011 to the Mavs, they could have three-peated. And Chi-Town's a good point. Boston's best game plan is to play physical against Steph. I agree, Chi-Town. That's what they have to do. Double, trap him, get the ball out of his hands, be physical. Test out his ankle. Don't give him airspace. What they did against Kevin Durant was put the hand up, been physical with him, contested shots. Though they were doing a good job playing man-to-man defense. They were doing a good job, and they were doing a good job though with that. So that's the thing, though. You could make an argument that the Warriors are a better dynasty than the Heat, which you could make a case though, because the Heat did underachieve. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know which dynasty is better between Golden State and Miami. The more I thought about it, I might give a slight edge towards Golden State because the Warriors did go back to back. They did win 3 rings in 4 seasons. And if it wasn't for them, and you gotta give them credit, and they had an opportunity to three-peat in 2019, but that didn't happen. So you gotta give Golden State the slight edge over Miami. Miami should have won more rings though. So that's the thing there. So my keys for the Warriors: move the ball, get into the middle, attack the basket, use the floater, get open threes, especially at the wing. And also, the bench, to me, is going to be the deciding factor for each team. whoever's bench can step up the most is going to dominate this series. Whoever's bench can step up the most is going to dominate each series. So that's my keys for both squads there. So for me, if both teams fully healthy, I gotta go with the C's. Gotta go with the Celtics in six. I can see a scenario in which both teams split the first two games on the road in Golden State. Both teams split in Boston, goes 2-2. We'll be going back to Golden State 2-2. I have a weird feeling that Celtics can win game five on the road. It'll be challenging, it'll be difficult, but I think it can win the game five in San Francisco. And I think going back home, game six in Boston, I think this time around, the Celtics could get it done. And Chi-Town has a good point. Boston can be a little bit streaky and can fall too in love with the three. They gotta fix that. They can't be streaky against the Warriors because the Warriors can make you pay though. And that's a good point too, Chi-Town. Boston is a better road team than at home. And that is why I think Boston can win two games in San Francisco. That's why I think they can win two games on the road. My only thing is that I think they have a better chance to win in six at home than in game seven because the Warriors are a very tough home team at the Chase Center. So I think that if you're the Celtics, you want to get this done in six if you can compared to game seven because in game seven, anything could happen because when you're the home team, you get the momentum. When you're the home team, you get the crowd involved. So, but what I love about what the Celtics did in Boston, I mean, excuse me, it did in Miami. They quieted down FTX Arena, and the fans were not really in the game until when the Heat made a run up within too late. So that's what I love doing. And what I love about what Boston did against Miami, they tired out Jimmy Butler, getting the ball of his hands down the stretch of Game 7, and there are other guys to beat him. And that's what I love what Boston did. But my only thing with Golden State too, Golden State can be streaking themselves too offensively. Sometimes the Warriors get into slow starts too, and they can be turnover prone too, and they can shoot a bunch of threes and create an outside shot. So the Warriors want to be careful. If I were the Warriors, yes, you have to hit threes, but you also have to utilize the mid-range shot, and you have to get into the paint. Because the Celtics are one of the best teams in swarming and fighting through screens and contesting shots. So if Golden State can try to put the head down, get into the baseline cuts, backdoor cuts, and get some layups, they should be fine in this series. So that's my thing there. So I think it's gonna be a tough, contested series. I think it's gonna be a great series, and I think Boston's gonna win this in six. I got Celtics in six over the Warriors. We shall find out, and time will tell what would happen in the NBA Finals. It's going to be a great series, I can tell you that. This is the second time ever that the C's and the Dubs will see each other in the big dance fighting for the NBA crown. They met each other back in 1964 when the Celtics won the championship. So it's like you know so it's like it's going to be a spicy series there. That's my keys for both teams. And so for the chat, who do you think is going to win this series? How many games do you think is going to go? And why do you think it's going to go the way it does? I guess Celtics in six. I think Boston has enough fire. Golden State has more firepower than Boston, obviously. But I just think that Boston's a better interior defensive team than Golden State. And I just think that Steph and Clay may struggle in this series, though. So Chi-Town agrees with me, Boston in 6-2. Pudge Knights has Golden State. I can see Golden State, but how many games? The Golden State in six? Okay, that's reasonable. Warriors in six. I can see the Warriors winning in six. I can see that. And I agree. And that's my point, Chi-Town. The Celtics have the personnel to beat them. They do have the personnel. And another thing too is that Tatum and Brown are also improved playmakers too. They're also improved in their playmaking. So that's the thing too. So if Tatum and Brown can overcome their doubles and traps and try to get guys involved like Pritchard and Williams and Smart and Horford involved, then that would if the Heat had made the NBA Finals, the Warriors would have swept the gentlemen swept them. I don't know about that. It's likely the Warriors would have won, but I don't know about a sweep or a gentleman sweep. I do understand Miami struggles to score offensively, which that is why they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I don't know about them getting swept or gentleman swept because Miami is a good physical defensive team. And if you actually notice with Miami, they play better on the road in Boston compared to at home in the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's see. The Heel says the thing that scares with Boston is that, and no disrespect to the Heat, the Celtics couldn't dominate them like the Warriors dominated this whole playoffs, but there was one team that's on the side. But at the same time, the Grizzlies did take the Warriors 6 games though, and you do have to consider, man, that without John Morant, Golden State lost by 39 points in Game 5, and in Game 6, the Grizzlies were up by 2 late until the Warriors pulled away. So it's not like the Warriors are this invincible team, though. And again, the Heat are a good team, so it's not like Miami's a bum team that Boston should have ran through, though. And Chi-Town has a good point. Boston is by far the most complete team that the Warriors are going to see to this point. They're more complete than Denver, more complete than Memphis, and more complete than Dallas. Dallas can shoot threes, but Dallas doesn't have the interior defense to stop Golden State. Memphis can Memphis can score in the paint, but what killed the Grizzlies was rebounding, and the Grizz go to offensive droughts. And the Nuggets, yes, you have the MVP Nikola Jokic, but they can be streaky offensively. And also, the Nuggets didn't have a deep enough bench to beat the Warriors. So that's the thing. The Celtics have a good bench with Derek White, who's been an X factor. Derek White used to play with the San Antonio Spurs, who brings smart experience, can shoot the three and can pass. You have Payne Pritchard that can stretch the floor. For the Warriors, it's not like Golden State has been dominating this whole playoffs. Again, look at it. You had to beat Denver in 5, and also Chi-Town's a good point. They didn't have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. In Game 3, Denver had a 2-point lead late and couldn't close it out. Game 4, Denver won. And in Game 5, the Nuggets had a 10-point lead, and the Warriors stormed back to win. And good point, too. Memphis didn't have John Morant for 3 games. And also, Steven Adams didn't play the first 3 games neither because of protocol. Again, we got to give the Warriors credit because they got it done. But at the same time, it's not like the Warriors are sweeping everybody, okay? Because, again, the Warriors were going 6 games against the Grizzlies. And, again, Memphis almost won Game 4 without Ja. They had a 1-point lead late. And like I mentioned too, Chi-Town, Memphis blew them out of Game 5 by 39 and were up by as much as 55. And in Game 6, they were up by 2 points late in the fourth quarter until Golden State went on a huge run to win that game by double digits, though. So again, Boston can beat Golden State if, like I said, they're physical, if they play smart, if they don't take shots too late in the shot clock, if Udoka can utilize his rotations, if they can, like what Chi-Town says, be physical with Steph and Clay. And also, they got to out-rebound Golden State. They're not, if Boston could out-rebound the Warriors in this series, Horford, Williams, Smart, Brown, Tatum can rebound the ball in this series, they're going to be in great shape. That's my thing here. So I got Celtics in 6 over the Warriors, though. And I want to ask you a question, guys. What do you guys think about, and Chi-Town, another quote. He says his main concern with the Celtics is his coaching, though. Yes, Udoka's never coached in the NBA Finals. It's going to be his first Finals in his coaching career. That is a good point because when you're a rookie head coach, sometimes when you're in the big stage, it's hard against a team that's experienced, really more the Warriors core and Steph, Clay, Dre, Looney, I should say, and also Steve Kerr. But I think, and that is a good point. So Udoka has to be on his A game coaching. What Udoka needs to do, I think he needs to coach screen rolls, pick and roll lobs with Robert Williams, and pick and pops with Al Horford. Coach that if the Celtics want to win this series, though. That's my thing too. If Boston wants to knock off Golden State. But I do agree with Chi-Town. Coaching could be a concern for Boston, though. But I think they'll be fine this series. I think they'll be fine, though. My concern for the Warriors is Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Andrew Wiggins, Kaminga. I got to see how they look in the finals. We don't know how they're going to look in the finals. So that's the thing. We don't know how they're going to look in the finals. I know Klay Thompson's been to the finals, but we haven't seen this version of Klay Thompson in the big dance before. So we have to see what he does in the big dance of the finals, though. So that's the thing. That's the thing there. So that's the thing right there. So that's the thing right there with me. Who do I think takes the Finals MVP? I'm going Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum's time. And I agree with Chi-Town on this. They got to make Steph play defense. That means they got to swing the ball, get into transition, move the ball from the perimeter, get into the low block, make Steph play defense, tire out his ankles. That's a great 100. That's a great $1 million point, Chi-Town. Great point there. Make him play defense. Gotta make him play some defense because if you can make him play some defense and make him move his feet and tire him out, that'll be great. Same thing with Jordan Poole. You gotta make Jordan Poole play some defense too. You gotta make Otto Porter make him play some defense. So that's the thing too that Boston has to work on too if they want to win the championship. And for Golden State, they got to get Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown in foul trouble. They got to make free throws. And the Warriors just got to shoot a high clip from three. If they can do that, they'll be fine. And Gary Payne might come back. I think he's going to come back for game one. I think Gary Payne's going to come back for game one. So, yeah. So yeah, you guys could turn for my game one recap, and we could preview for game two. So my game one recap will be, it's the Warriors' first home finals games since 2019 when they lost to the Raptors in six. The Warriors have lost three straight home playoff games, finals games, I should say. And game two will be on Sunday night. So that's the thing there, which will be on ABC, 8 o'clock. So that'll be fun there. So if I have to guess who I think is going to win the series, I got the Celtics in six. I think who I think is going to win game one, I'm going Boston to win game one. And I think Boston's going to live up a high from game seven in Miami in the game that they never trailed. Boston also, just want to throw it out there, the Celtics have won 7 road games in these playoffs, though. So that's the thing there. I can see the Warriors winning in 7. I can see that though. I can see Warriors winning in 7. I can see that though, but I'm going Celtics in 6, but we're gonna find out. So I think Boston's gonna win game one on the road. I think the Warriors become a little bit rusty. So I got Celtics in 6 over the Warriors, and that is my finals prediction right there. With that, I thank you everybody. So you can join me on my thoughts and reactions after game one. It'll be exciting after game one, and then we can preview game two. That'll be exciting there. So with that, I thank you everybody, for tuning in. My final thoughts. I'm congrats to both teams making it to the last dance. Congrats on the Warriors for making the finals for the first time since 2019. The travel may play a little bit of a factor too. You had to travel from Massachusetts to San Francisco. That in finals, so that'll be tough there. So with that, we're gonna preview game with that. My preview of the finals. I got Celtics in 6. It's gonna be tough, challenging. I can see the Warriors winning it too. It's gonna be a tough series, I can tell you that. Thank you for coming in. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. We previewed game one, and then we'll be back here for game two. And hopefully, it'll be an amazing series, though. So with that, thank you for everybody for joining in, coming to my show. And with that, I'm happy. So with that, may God bless you. Keep you safe, and also join BX, Chef Dan, and Michael Caputo for the Rangers. Let's go Rangers! Blue shirts, excuse me, and Carolina against the Hurricanes. So the Rangers can win a grueling Game 7 in Carolina and take on the the two-time defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. So with that, thank you everybody. Enjoy the NBA Finals. It's going to be a spicy. It's can you dig it? It's going to be juicy, man. What a win.